as he is confirmed. And by the way, all three of those positions that he held inside the Justice Department, he had to be confirmed by the Senate. He was unanimously confirmed to be the Attorney General. And in all three positions, it was a Democratic-controlled Senate that confirmed him.
So if they fight this too hard, they're really going to have to explain exactly what has changed outside of gaining more experience from what you're talking about. You know, it is being reported, some reports are saying that the president has been asking nominees whether or not they would recuse themselves from the Russia investigation. That is not my reporting, but I'm repeating that of others. Would that be a question that you would ask?
Of course. I mean, that's the kind of question you would want to ask of anyone who's going into the top position at the Justice Department, and the president has a right to know that. I haven't seen anything in either his background or anything that he said that would be a reason for him to recuse himself from basically taking over supervision of the special counsel, which under Department of Justice regulations, it's supposed to be the Attorney General.
All right. As far as what we know about the Mueller investigation, I don't know if you could hear Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona talking about this, but what he liked about William Barr is that it may add a rudder, if you will, to the ship of the investigation into the president by, or his campaign by, Mueller. What's your thought on that?
No, I actually agree with that. I don't think the special counsel has been supervised in his work the way he should be, in a way that the Attorney General's office has an obligation to do. Look, maybe Mueller's got some kind of evidence that has not yet been publicly disclosed. That's certainly possible. But through today, not a single one of the indictments that he has put out, including the ones of Cohen, Flynn, and Manafort, had anything to do with or provided any evidence about any supposed collusion with the Russian government.
Right. Let's talk about what we could see drop today. I mean, I don't know what kind of neon light or what you could use to read through the redactions. I think you can't. So there was so much that was redacted with Michael Flynn's sentencing memo from earlier this week. If we get two more like that on Manafort and Cohen, what is the point of releasing that information? It's got to have, like, what's the strategy? Get into the mind of Mueller if you can, and you should be able to do that because you've done your own investigations.
Well, the reason that the special counsel gave, for example, for redacting information from the Flynn memo is because he said it pertains to an ongoing investigation. Again, that may very possibly be true. But look, in the Manafort case today, we're supposed to get a sentencing recommendation memo from Mueller. And remember, about a week or so ago, Mueller filed a special pleading with the court accusing Manafort of having lied to the special counsel's office since he agreed to a plea deal. And the special counsel said, I will detail what those lies are in the report that's going to be filed today. So I think we're actually going to get information on what the supposed lies are that Mueller is accusing Manafort of.
All right. Hans, great to see you. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
I want to bring everybody's attention now back to the lectern there in Kansas City. That is the Western Crown Center Hotel, and that's where we anticipate the president will step up at any moment. We're going to take a quick break now and come right back. Stay close.
Please welcome our nation's highest law enforcement officer.
With no college degree, you're not going anywhere at your age.
Watch me. You can do this. Okay.
I really admire you. You're kind of who I want to be when I grow up.
Second act, rated PG-13.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
The president has just been introduced. He is thanking the person who introduced him and the audience for being there. This is law enforcement officers and prosecutors in Kansas City, Missouri for the Project Safe Neighborhoods National Conference. Expect him to talk about a whole lot more. Let's watch together.
Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, following his unanimous confirmation by the United States Senate. During his tenure, he demonstrated an unwavering adherence to the rule of law, which the people in this room like to hear. There's no one more capable or more qualified for this role. He deserves overwhelming bipartisan support. I suspect he'll probably get it. I'm honored to be in Kansas City with the incredible men and women of law enforcement. I've been here a lot over the last couple of months. The U.S. attorneys, state, local prosecutors, police officers, sheriffs, deputies, and federal agents who keep our country safe. You keep America safe. And you maybe don't hear it enough or sometimes don't feel it enough. You do an incredible job. The people in this country know it and they love you. Just remember that. So true. On behalf of a grateful nation, I just want to say that we thank you, we salute you, and we stand with you 100%, all of us, me and all of us. We're here today to restore one of the most effective crime prevention strategies in America, Project Safe Neighborhoods. This initiative brings law enforcement, community groups, and local leaders together to get the most violent criminals in the most dangerous areas off the streets and behind bars. After many years of neglect, we are bringing back this life-saving program stronger than ever before. Today is the first nationwide meeting of Project Safe Neighborhoods in 8 years. And here with us is the man who started this visionary project all the way back in 2001, former Attorney General John Ashcroft. Where's John? Where's John? Great John. I've been here a lot lately, John, huh?
Thank you.
Been here a lot. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for a great job. I also want to thank two members of my administration who are doing tremendous work, the head of ATF, Thomas Brandon, and the acting DEA administrator, Uttam Dillon. Please. Thank you, fellas. We're also joined by a great representative of the state, Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler. Helps me a lot. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. And we are especially excited to have with us the man who is your state's current Attorney General and newly elected United States Senator. That's why I've been here so much lately. Josh Hawley. Josh, thank you, Josh. And I will tell you, Josh really stepped up to the plate. You know, in life, you never know. You pick somebody, looks good, sounds good.
The president there in Kansas City, Missouri, talking about Project Safe Neighborhoods today and who started that program, John Ashcroft, of Missouri, and the Attorney General there, formerly. And he's thanking people who have worked so mightily for the program, originally also started by President George W. Bush. So we will monitor his talk today. We do know that the person who introduced him, interestingly enough, was the interim Attorney General, Matthew Whitaker. And as the president now has made a new nomination for the role of Attorney General in William Barr, we're going to move on and talk a little bit about that, monitor this, and if he toggles back from the Safe Neighborhoods conversation to some of the items that the president has been making big news on today, we'll take you back live. I want to bring in, who's been standing by, Congressman Darrell Issa on the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. And again, the president there introduced, I want to talk politics for a second,
Sure.
because the Democrats said that, oh no, we're going to start investigations into Matthew Whitaker and some of the stuff he said and blah, blah. And the president has taken that specter out of the hands of his political opponents, or critics, we should say, and now made a nomination that a lot of people are feeling that they can get behind today.
Well, it's exactly right. This is someone that today it would be unheard of, but even then it was rare, unanimous appointment. The important thing to all of us is it's not just that this is a superb senior attorney who has been some time ago the Attorney General. It's that this is somebody that both sides know can handle this large bureaucracy, that can button up and close up a lot of cases, and quite frankly, that people can trust without a doubt. Democrats would be disingenuous if they don't admit this, to oversee a number of prosecutions and investigations, including the special investigation of Mueller. That is important because this is somebody that goes beyond any question. It's an outsider relative to Trump. This is not a friend of Trump. He was not on the campaign. So the credentials are impeccable.
This is somebody that the president said he'd had his eye on from the very beginning. It is, by some estimations, and some critics, even within his own party, have called it an establishment pick. But he was nominated, as you said, 100% confirmed, and Democrats reported that. Let's move on and talk about James Comey and his testimony behind closed doors on the Hill. Why is it, Congressman Issa, that he so much wanted this to be public, and now we'll get the transcript that will come out in the next day or so? What was it that he didn't want to answer? Are there questions that you think that will get asked, won't get asked?
Well, he wanted a public spectacle, and he really wanted 5 minutes back and forth with members taking shots. He almost got it because he is going to have that transcript public very shortly. The one thing I can tell you today that surprised me is that under Trey Gowdy's questioning and John Ratcliffe's, it was the Justice Department, meaning the FBI attorney who's in there with him, that time and time again, I think to his pleasure, told him not to answer question after question fundamental to the investigations that brought him there. And so there's no question in my mind, we're going to be over at the FBI, we're going to be over at the Department of Justice, working out the details for a great many things that they came prepared not to answer.
Like what?
Well, I have to be a little careful. Let's just say, in broad brush strokes, everything related to Hillary's investigation, everything related to how they got onto it and what their process was, everything related to the FISA warrants and the fake dossier, broadly, those are the areas in which time and time again, he's not answering. And I have to be careful because the transcript's not out, and I want to respect the process. But I think the one thing that's remarkable is, even though I can't tell you what he did say, I can tell you this large swath of very important information he's not saying.
Well, was he asked at all, and can you ask him at all about why employees who were showing bias in their text messages were not completely removed from the agency? I'm talking about Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, who were all over texting on their work devices about how they wanted to keep President Trump out of the White House.
When the transcript comes out, you're going to see incredible detail by Trey Gowdy of those questions, exactly the ones you're talking about. And you're going to be displeased, but maybe a little surprised at the answers. Displeased?
You can't give me...
You're not going to accept the answers as the answers that you would think a forthright individual would give.
All right. Can we also talk about leaking? Because
yes.
that conversation was deepened when we found out. I mean, we knew that there were leaks of phone calls with world leaders and the president's early calls with those that were made early on in his presidency, and that sits in one lane. But when you have the FBI director leaking to a buddy whom he knew about certain things that we now know to be true, did you ask him why he did that?
Those questions are being asked, and this is exactly where Comey speaks out of both sides of his mouth. You know, he doesn't want to answer a lot of questions. Even when he answers, I would call them evasive. And then, as you say, he's been a master of leaking. And, you know, what's irritating, Harris, and I think what the American people really are upset about is the FBI will claim these privileges of ongoing investigation, which, by the way, is not a legal privilege, but it's one they claim. And then they will, for their own purposes, leak what they want to leak to get something, and then complain about leaks. You know, one of the things I learned in 18 years here in the House is that if you believe in transparency, you have to be consistent. The FBI is not consistent, and we in Congress have to make sure the executive branch becomes more consistent in either they don't tell anyone something because it really does protect sources and methods and lives, or it's open to the public at a reasonable time as their right to know, and we're not getting that.
All right, Congressman, I'm curious. You're about to leave. You're exiting. You're on the Oversight Committee. If you guys don't get the questions now, will we ever get the answers to some of these questions? A very quick last word.
The last word is, with Fast and Furious, when the Democrats were in control of the Senate and Senator Grassley was lied to, it was the majority in the House that worked with his staff to get the truth for him. The reverse has to be true. The majority in the Senate, the Republicans in the Senate, have to pick up whatever's being left behind for absence of leadership in the House, and I hope they will.
All right. Darrell Issa of the great state of California, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Speaking of James Comey, by the way, the Hillary Clinton email controversy apparently is back. A federal judge has given Judicial Watch the go-ahead to demand more documents. I'll talk with the president of that conservative group next about the answers he's looking for. Stay close.
I'm Snow, and just like you, the further in the winter we go, the heavier I get. And while your pants struggle to support the heavier you, your roof struggles to support the heavier me. And your cut rate insurance might not pay for this, so get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Are you thinking of buying a stair lift? This essential free guide will answer all your questions. You can find out how a stair lift can improve your life in a few easy steps with this free guide packed full of detailed information. All of your questions answered. What should I think about when buying a stair lift? What type of stair lift will suit my home? What difference can a stair lift make in my life? Answers to these and many more with this free guide to buying a stair lift. A stair lift can be crucial to you staying independent in your own home. They were invented to make your life easier. And this free practical guide, produced with the help of Acorn Stair Lifts, will make it easier for you to choose the one that's right for you. So call now, 1-800-908-1851 for your free copy of your guide to buying a stair lift and have all of your stair lift questions answered today. 1-800-908-1851.
I can't believe you got me a tennis bracelet.
Mm-hmm. She can thank me for that. I showed my dad this deal at Hellsberg. He bought jewelry, and I got this. It's my finder's fee.
Get a free Nintendo Switch system when you buy a gift at Hellsberg Diamonds.
Looking for the perfect holiday gift for a curious kid on your list? With Little Passports, kids get a fun-filled package each month designed to inspire curiosity in geography, world cultures, or science. Order today at littlepassports.com.
Must be 18 years or older to order. If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift for someone special to you, give a gift that will be truly appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Favorite Gift Package. It's filled with $232 worth of great food for just $59.99. That's 74% off only on this special holiday offer. The people on your nice list will receive 4 tender, mouth-watering filet mignons, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 premium boneless chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, 4 stuffed baked potatoes, and 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice, so you can give this wonderful gift to anybody on your holiday list. As a special holiday gift from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all. Omaha Steaks Favorite Gift Package, a $232 value for just $59.99. Give everyone a gift they can appreciate. Give them the Favorite Gift Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Never before has it been more important to protect your assets, IRAs, and 401ks from the financial crisis that we're facing. Hi, I'm William Devane, and like you, I've worked hard for my money, and I'm not about to lose it now. With all the financial craziness in the world, I protect my retirement by buying gold every chance I get. I buy my gold from Rosalind Capital because I trust them. No sales gimmicks there. Rosalind will beat any price of any coin at any time. Just call them. And Rosalind will send you free information on how you can protect your assets and your retirement. So protect your future from the problems of the world. Invest in stability with Rosalind Capital.
Call now for your free gold, silver, and IRA transfer kits. And for a limited time, Rosalind is offering a $1,000 discount free to qualifying new customers. Call 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900.
Well, the oddly never-ending Clinton email controversy takes another turn as federal judge now has ordered an additional fact-finding mission into whether Clinton's use of a private email system was a deliberate effort to thwart the Freedom of Information Act. That judge says that despite previous Clinton email investigations, conservative group Judicial Watch should be permitted to demand documents and additional testimony about the practice. Jillian Turner is live in Washington with more. So, Jillian, this is a really interesting turn.
One that not a lot of people saw coming either, Harris. So a U.S. District Court Judge, Royce Lamberth, has issued a new 11-page order addressing Clinton's use of a private email server when she was the Secretary of State. It includes a blistering critique of the State Department, the Justice Department, and of Clinton herself. The order insists, despite the multiple congressional and FBI investigations already completed, there's still questions that remain unanswered in the eyes of the law. Judge Lamberth says the court needs more facts in order to determine whether Clinton set up her private email server for the specific purpose of dodging the Freedom of Information Act. It's known as FOIA. Now, that's a law that allows American citizens to request access to any official government information anytime. Lamberth writes, the government shouldn't keep information confidential merely because public officials may be embarrassed by disclosure, because errors and failures may be revealed, or because of speculative or abstract fears. This ruling comes in response to a filing by conservative judicial advocacy group Judicial Watch, and it supports their bid to continue seeking access to official documents and even requesting further testimony from the people involved. Referencing the State Department, Judge Lamberth continues, the court takes no pleasure in questioning the intentions of the nation's most august executive departments, but it still remains unknown whether Clinton used a private email server to duck FOIA requests. Judicial Watch has responded to this order enthusiastically, perhaps not surprisingly, saying they'll hope it'll induce state and justice to be more cooperative. President of the group, Tom Fitton, adds he hopes the agencies will take the judge's criticism to heart. But Harris government insiders here in Washington tell Fox News there's a fat chance that that will happen.
I bet that was a direct quote. Yes. Jillian, great to see you. Thank you very much. And you've set me up perfectly for my next guest. The president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, joins me now. So, Tom, this is a victory for you. And some critics of the former Attorney General Jeff Sessions might even say it's a victory for the Justice Department to force them to do something that maybe they should have done before. What's your thought?
You know, one aspect of this ruling is the court didn't just criticize the Obama State Department and Justice Department, but highlighted the problem of this Justice Department continuing to defend the indefensible. He specifically talked about the chicanery of this Justice Department's continued defense and excuse-making for the misconduct of Hillary Clinton and the State Department and Justice Department previously. And he also talked about not being terribly convinced about Mr. Comey's testimony about the thoroughness of his Clinton email investigation. And it shows you the value, frankly, Harris, if we could promote Judicial Watch a little bit, of having an independent group like Judicial Watch focused on this, because Congress has dropped the ball here. The Justice Department, frankly, is on the other side of this, even during this administration. And, you know, the courts have been hoodwinked here, to use a phrase that the court highlighted in his decision. And so they're not going to back down. And now some people like Mrs. Clinton potentially are going to have to answer additional questions.
You know, I am curious about one point, because we have found out recently that Ivanka Trump also had her own personal email server with some emails on it, and she has talked substantively about how all of that sits on the White House server, and that nothing had been deleted. If critics of the Trump administration question about that comparatively to Hillary Clinton and what you're seeking, what is your answer?
Well, it frankly just highlights the egregious nature of what Mrs. Clinton did when you compare what happened with Ivanka Trump, where you had some emails about government business being sent on her private account before and after her work at the White House, emails by all accounts that were captured and preserved, which is in fact what they probably need to be. There's no legal prohibition on using personal emails for government business now and again. The difference here is Hillary Clinton specifically set up an email system to make sure no emails would be captured by the government and provided to investigators as long as she had anything to do with it, until, as the court highlighted, Judicial Watch caught them.
You know, there is another difference, too, that I see that I wonder, could your FOIA or could this investigation get to the bottom of? Will we ever know exactly how many and how the emails were destroyed? I mean, we've heard all sorts of stories about this was taken out into the woods and they attacked it and that server was destroyed. I mean, what are the facts that you know so far about that? That's important. It's the deletions. It's that sort of subterfuge accusation.
Well, at least half of the emails Hillary Clinton improperly took from the White House were destroyed, about 33,000 of them. As best we can tell, because we've been getting the emails that the FBI has been able either to recover or otherwise find, the FBI has only been able to find 5,000 of them. So there are, 27,000 emails still missing. And highlights the egregious nature, again, of what Mrs. Clinton did, this massive destruction of government records. She had no business taking any of these emails out of the State Department, and she did. And the American people deserve full answers. And frankly, the court, I think, is speaking for millions of Americans and demanding accountability here. And I hope the new Attorney General is paying attention to decisions like this, because this is what's going on in the Justice Department. They're defending Hillary Clinton while attacking President Trump on specious charges.
All right. Judicial Watch, as you said, important work that you were doing. FOIA is something that journalists use all the time. We'll be watching very closely. Thank you for coming on the program.
You're welcome, Harris. Thank you.
President Trump is trying to reassure a turbulent stock market as he continues negotiations with China. This is fear of a trade war sends the Dow into another spiral. Can the two sides reach an agreement? Stay close.
Okay, everyone, our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Great tasting Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. Ensure, now up to 30 grams of protein for strength and energy.
No. I don't think so. Exactly. Better watch my geraniums.
Stop crying before it happens with Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
To look at me now, you don't see psoriasis. You see clear skin.
Cosentyx can help people with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis find clear skin that can last. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms if your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
How sexy are these elbows?
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Guys, I got you all presents and got cash back using Ebates. Gift for you, little gift for me.
I don't believe it.
Do you believe this?
Bet it's fake. A lot of phonies out there.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Stand down, Elf.
Oh, good. So everybody can see the elf.
It's real.
I'm still not convinced.
Sign up for free, shop your favorite stores, get cash back. Ebates, something to believe in. Join today for a $10 bonus.
Every road in the world is now an information superhighway.
And the car has become an accessory to the smartphone.
Ride-hailing, car sharing, carpooling, mobility services are proliferating.
And there's a new generation who don't seem to want to own cars in the first place.
It all means massive disruption to the car industry, cities, businesses and investors. I'm Martin Briggs for Bank of America Merrill Lynch.
You always pay your insurance on time. Tap one little bumper and up go your rates. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Newsflash, nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch and you could save $782 on home and auto insurance. Call 1-888-686-3155 for a free quote today. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I used to have more hair. I used to have more color. And I used to have cancer. I beat it. I did. Not alone. I used to have no idea what the American Cancer Society did. Research, yeah, but also free rides to chemo and free lodging near hospitals. I used to maybe give a little, then I got so much back. I used to have cancer.
Please give at cancer.org.
Meeting people is my life. I had to be careful how wide I would open my mouth because I was embarrassed to show my teeth. It was time to do something for myself that was going to be permanent.
The Clear Choice one-day approach is making dental implants a reality for people all over the country who suffer from missing or failing teeth.
I felt like I was the most important person on earth to them.
Bill came in, bad teeth, discomfort, pain. We needed to get him into a smile that he felt confident in. We have expertise that he might not find anywhere else, all in one location.
The next day, I had a new smile. Couldn't wait to show some folks. It's amazing what a smile can do for a person.
Discover why this is so much more than another dental procedure. It's a true life changer. With over 30,000 new smiles and counting, we're lifting spirits and confidence all over America. Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options.
I'm eating corn on the cob. I had the best smile I'd ever had in my life.
Call Clear Choice today.
Fox News Alert, look at what's happening on the Dow right now, plunging more than 400 points. It's been pitching back and forth today. Markets reacting, we think, to the arrest of a Chinese tech firm executive. Investigators fearing the move could escalate trade tensions, even as President Trump touts China's cooperation on the matter. The president tweeted this earlier today. China talks are going very well, exclamation point. Deirdre Bolton is joining me now from the Fox Business Network. Why is the Dow pitching?
Well, the Dow is pitching because of all this uncertainty. U.S. and China are the world's two largest economies. We are obviously having a difficult time, the two countries, finding a trading pattern that makes sense for both countries. One, we're trying to outmuscle each other. So I think a lot of investors are just concerned. What does this mean? It's difficult for business leaders to make any decisions. I mean, if I have a company, you're running my manufacturing from China, we don't know where we stand.
Right.
6 months, a year from now, big businesses are hard to turn on a dime. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Can you give me one example of one of those businesses that we would know of who's kind of waiting in the wings going, well, what?
I think even all of our tech companies, I mean, you can even point to entire industries, right? Anything to do with steel, anything to do with aluminum, anything to do with tech, anything to do with soybeans.
So does the president get credit for any of this? One, the rest of the economy is cooking along. I mean, 155,000 jobs a day, that could have been more, but it is.
It could have been more, but by
forward.
historical standards, we're fine. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's one. The other point that I would make is nobody else has tried this before. The president said he was going to do something different. Does he get credit for that?
I think so, and I think calling attention to the intellectual property theft that has been going on for decades, where Chinese firms, I mean, they deny it and the Chinese government denies, but essentially steal property from U.S. companies. So if I'm Chinese, you wanted to set up a company in China, I would say, okay, that's fine. But guess what, Harris? You have to partner with me, right? Then we partner. Then I have access to all your data. I have access to all your research.
Right. The tech exec,
yes.
What happens to her and why does that matter?
Meng Wanzhou. So this is really important. She's the CFO of Huawei. Huawei is one of China's most successful companies. They are working on 5G networks, everything that we do.
It's like an Apple over there.
It is like an Apple over there. And everything that we do mobilely, they have have a hand in. So this is a poster child of success for China. She also is the daughter of a very well-known, not only business figure, but he was an engineer in the People's Army. I mean, she's very symbolic for many reasons.
Is she going to prison?
That remains to be seen. That's up to her lawyers, I am sure.
Well, I'm asking this because China reportedly is so upset over this one
they're
individual.
saying it's a human rights abuse that she has even been arrested. So she has been accused of allegedly breaking sanctions, helping Huawei break sanctions in dealing with Iran. Huawei, just for full and fair disclosure, has said that did not happen.
All right, Deirdre, before I let you go, Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa and others have spoken up against the tariffs. What has to happen now?
What has to happen? We need a way forward. And one problematic result about this arrest means it's very difficult for China to give us any concessions. This is so high profile. It is so public. It's just going to make any other conversation more difficult. I think relationship between U.S. and China gets a lot worse before it gets better.
And they say she broke sanctions with regard to Iran, and we know how we feel about Iran. It's complicated.
Exactly. It's complicated.
Deirdre Bolton from the Fox Business Network. Great to see you. Thank you. President Trump is choosing prominent Republican lawyer William Barr to head up the Justice Department. And Democrats could fight that nomination. It makes me scratch my head because they liked him so much when he worked for a former president. Due to Barr's criticism of the Russia probe, they say. Power Panel slides in next. Stay close.
I am not for colds.
I am not for just treating my symptoms.
I am for shortening colds when I'm sick with Zicam.
Zicam is completely different.
Unlike most other cold medicines, Zicam is clinically proven to shorten colds.
I am a Zyfan for Zicam.
Oral or nasal.
Stop yanking. Then get cranking. The No Yank Tank. Only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
New Day USA has helped thousands of veterans get the money they need for their family and home.
Thank you, Admiral.
By helping them use the valuable VA home loan benefit they've earned with their service.
Thank you, Admiral.
It lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value.
Thank you, Admiral.
With today's high home values, that can mean a lot more money to pay debts and get ahead.
Thank you, Admiral.
It's an honor to help you get the peace of mind that every veteran and their family deserves.
Call 1-844-383-1571.
Beltone, a global leader in hearing care, is introducing a new innovative hearing technology. To find out if you're a candidate, schedule an appointment to have your hearing evaluated. If you qualify, you will be asked to try the remarkable new Beltone Amaze. This small device delivers unparalleled sound quality. It is virtually invisible and comfortable. Call 1-800-BELTONE now to hear sounds, words, and conversation more clearly. And stream music and phone calls directly to your hearing aids from your favorite electronic devices. Call 1-800-BELTONE today.
Comey, Congress, and the closed-door hearing. From the 2016 election to the FBI's conduct, Matt Gaetz takes us inside the testimony tonight on The Story.
I'm not looking to swipe endlessly. I'm looking for the real thing. That's why I'm on eHarmony.
At eHarmony, we connect you on what really matters. That's why every 14 minutes, someone finds love on eHarmony. Start free today.
Did you know 80% of all erectile dysfunction meds sold online are counterfeit? That's why we created Roman. Now you can get real, FDA-approved medication prescribed online, delivered to your door. Get your first month free at GetRoman.com/TV.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly. And that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-296-7286. to take advantage of this limited time offer.
If you get a CPAP machine, don't even take it home until you have your SoClean machine right with it, because they are a marriage made in heaven.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-296-7286 or go to trysoclean.com.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Banderas in for Dana Perino today. James Comey behind closed doors on Capitol Hill for 4 hours now. Our own Catherine Herridge is there with the very latest, and we'll update you with that. Plus, Senator Elizabeth Warren's hometown newspaper strongly suggesting she not run for president in 2020. We're going to debate. And Rex Tillerson making some pretty rare public comments yesterday about his time with the president. We're going to tell you what he's saying coming up on the Daily Briefing.
Fox News alert on this developing story now. President Trump says he will nominate William Barr as the new Attorney General. It's a job Barr held before in President George H.W. Bush's administration. The power panel slides in. Ford O'Connell, chairman of the Civic Forum PAC and a Republican strategist. Suraj Patel is a Democratic strategist and former Democrat congressional candidate who worked on President Obama's 2012 campaign and on Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. So we know, gentlemen, welcome, that the president started his remarks in Kansas City just a little while ago. We took those at the top, where he mentioned nominating William Barr, and he said an outstanding man who previously led the DOJ with distinction. Ford?
Well, look, I think William Barr is a home run selection for President Trump, and if the Democrats dig in their heels too much, it could prove to be a case of him playing three-dimensional chess with a Rubik's Cube behind his back. And here's why. Here's the ingeniousness of this pick. He was unanimously approved to be Attorney General under Bush 41. We have just spent several days praising Bush 41 as a 20th century founding father. Well, guess what? If it's good enough for Bush 41, it's good enough for Trump in America.
The difference, well, so the difference is, right, between that William Barr and this William Barr, we have an ongoing investigation right now that this nominee for Attorney General has already made comments on. How can you respect the impartiality of this Attorney General if he's already made comments on an ongoing investigation? And that's the question.
Can I press on a little bit? Because that was the same thing that people on your side of the aisle were saying about Matthew Whitaker, whom, by the way, everybody saw this on our air a few minutes ago, introduced the president today. The outgoing interim guy then steps up, and the president, introduces the nation to confirmation that he is nominating William Barr. So, I mean, are people not allowed to talk? And the comments are very different between these two men in tone and tenor, if you will.
So the simple solution here is that William Barr could pledge to respect the independence of the Mueller investigation. He could recuse himself.
What makes you think that that's not going to happen?
But that's a key. They're already starting that exact point. And this is why I said it was an ingenious pick, because here was someone who was unanimously confirmed in the 1990s, someone who drew praise from the current 2020 Democratic presidential leader of the field, Joe Biden, who said he was a great person.
This is 20 years ago.
But my point is very simple: is you're going to dig in no matter what. You guys are going to throw bombs up there and see what sticks at the wall. And the point is if he can pick someone like this, and you're already saying these things, guess what? You're not interested in governing. You're not interested in the American people. You're interested in hating Trump.
That's not true.
Can I say one thing, though? Just
the precusal is a middle ground here, right?
To perforate this, if I could. Your comment was that there is a different William Barr from 20 years ago compared to now. How can you even say that? Do you know this man to be so different? Do you know him personally?
No,
that's
what I'm saying is
what has changed are the circumstances.
What I'm saying is that the Biden praise is prior to William Barr making comments about an ongoing Russia investigation. Of course, it didn't exist at the time.
Exactly.
But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that we can...
You realize a lot of people make their opinions known about this on both sides of the political aisle.
We can respect the independence of the Mueller investigation, and then he would probably sail through confirmation.
Look, he has made his opinions known. He shares a very similar view in terms of presidential scope of power. Obviously, the Wall Street Journal op-ed concerning Comey and his questions about the political bias within the Mueller team. But this fact still remains. Here is somebody who was confirmed unanimously, and yet Democrats are going to throw up a roadblock no matter what, because it's Donald Trump.
I want to get Hillary Clinton in here, because I know that you worked for her in 2016. All right, so Mr. Barr, and this is reporting, Mr. Barr has also defended Mr. Trump's calls for a new criminal investigation into his defeated 2016 opponent, Hillary Clinton. I find that fascinating, considering what Judicial Watch is now doing and pressing on through FOIA. I've got to bring you gentlemen back. We're out of time. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Harris.
In these volatile markets, which investment are experts choosing for protection and profit? Stocks, real estate, bonds? None of the above. It's silver. It's trending higher. And if silver returns to its all-time high, that's over a 200% increase. Call now to get this free report. First-time callers also get this free 10th-ounce silver walking liberty.
We're going to look back a couple of years from now, and we are going to be amazed by how the price of silver has soared.
Call Lear Capital for your free silver report, plus a free 10th-ounce silver walking liberty, and get the indicator that over the past 40 years has accurately predicted silver increases of 200% or more.
The biggest mistake that investors make is they don't buy real gold and silver.
Don't wait. Ask how you can get up to $2,000 in free silver in your hand or in your IRA. This offer ends soon. Call 1-800-889-8000. 1-800-889-8000.
This thing called love, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love.
This holiday, give the gift of Peloton.
What? How did you know?
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need? Now you can sell your policy, even a term policy, for an immediate cash payment. Call Coventry Direct to learn more.
We thought we had planned carefully for our retirement.
But we quickly realized we needed a way to supplement our income.
Our friends sold their policy to help pay their medical bills. And that got me thinking. Maybe selling our policy could help with our retirement.
I was skeptical, so I did some research and called Coventry Direct. They explained life insurance is a valuable asset that can be sold.
We learned we could sell all of our policy or keep part of it with no future payments. Who knew? We sold our policy. Now we can relax and enjoy our retirement as we had planned.
If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may qualify to sell your policy. Don't cancel or let your policy lapse without finding out what it's worth. Visit CoventryDirect.com to find out if your policy qualifies, or call 1-800-983-6200. Coventry Direct, redefining insurance.
If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift for someone special to you, give a gift that will be truly appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Favorite Gift Package. It's filled with $232 worth of great food for just $59.99. That's 74% off only on this special holiday offer. The people on your nice list will receive 4 tender, mouth-watering filet mignons, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 premium boneless chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, 4 stuffed baked potatoes, and 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice, so you can give this wonderful gift to anybody on your holiday list. As a special holiday gift from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all. Omaha Steaks Favorite Gift Package, a $232 value for just $59.99. Give everyone a gift they can appreciate. Give them the Favorite Gift Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Thank you for watching. I'm Harris Faulkner. Here's Julie Banderas on the Daily Briefing in for Dana Perino. And join me online, Outnumbered Overtime, across all platforms. Have a great, blessed weekend.
And we begin with a Fox News alert, and good afternoon to you. 4 hours and counting. That is how long exactly James Comey has been behind doors. Closed doors in this meeting on Capitol Hill, getting grilled by lawmakers. Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Banderas, and for Dana Perino today, and this is the Daily Briefing. So the fired FBI director sitting down with the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees after initially refusing to do so, saying he'd prefer a public hearing. Well, he didn't get it exactly. Lawmakers focusing on his handling of the Clinton email investigation leading up to the 2016 presidential election. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is live in Washington. Boy, to be a fly on the wall. Hey, Catherine.
That's right, Julie. For Republicans on these committees, they say it really comes down to two issues. It's about power and accountability for the FBI during the 2016 presidential election. Because remember, we had this extraordinary situation where the FBI was doing a criminal investigation of Hillary Clinton and her email server and the handling of classified information. And when they closed that for the first time, they then opened a counterintelligence investigation on the opposing campaign with Donald Trump. Democrats say this is really about the Republicans trying to tarnish the special counsel investigation and kind of dirty up Mueller and some of the key witnesses in that investigation. But what we know several hours in is that Director Comey is not answering a lot of the questions, and the Republicans say it's at the direction of a government lawyer. Democrats say that it's fair game. Let's listen.
Director Comey is in there with two attorneys. The one that's from the Department of Justice has repeatedly, I would say at his gleeful acceptance, instructed that he will not be answering a great many questions that are clearly items at the core of our investigation.
I see it a different way. I was there. I heard every question. I heard every answer. And I certainly know that, people were at the table. I was left with the impression that they were instructing him for the right reasons to either answer or not answer.
As part of this deal that was brokered between Director Comey, his lawyers, and the House Republicans, is that there will be a transcript released to the public probably within a 24-hour period. So we'll be able to see for ourselves what the questions were that the government lawyer told the former director not to answer, and then we can decide for ourselves whether that seems justified with the ongoing investigations.
All right, so is this it today, or are they going to bring him back for more questions?
Well, that's you're right on top of the next most important issue. The Republicans are saying that because there's a hard stop today, just about 2.5 hours from now, that they want Director Comey to come back for another transcribed interview under oath. But they're also saying that they're going to push very hard now to get the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, to also sit for a similar interview before the end of the session. One Republican said it's because there is evidence that conflicts with his public explanation of this secretly recording the president, invoking the 25th. Rosenstein had said that he made those comments in jest.
Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein's public statements that he did not really talk seriously about taping the president and invoking the 25th Amendment is not consistent with a number of other sworn testimony or transcribed interviews that we've had.
What we're looking at here then is perhaps a second section with the former FBI director and maybe even a session with the Deputy Attorney General before Republicans lose control of these committees and the Democrats take the gavel. Just as a footnote here, the incoming Democratic chairman for the House Judiciary Committee told reporters this morning that he is going to shut down this investigation as one of the first steps he takes when he gains the gavel in January. Julie.
Wow, all the more pressure for this thing to wrap up soon. All right, Catherine Herridge, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So President Trump revealing 2 new members to his team today, announcing plans to nominate William Barr for Attorney General and Heather Nauert for UN Ambassador. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts is live on the North Lawn trying to keep up with all the happenings there behind you. What's going on, John?
And I just got off the phone just a second ago, Julie, and we've got another change that is going to be announced tomorrow at the Army-Navy football game that he's attending. President Trump will announce that he is going to put in the line of succession to replace Joe Dunford as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff over at the Pentagon, the current Army Chief of Staff, General Mark Milley. The president is very enamored of Milley. He is the sort of the textbook Hollywood version, if you will, of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and so the president will be making that announcement tomorrow. We do not know if Joe Dunford will work out for the rest of his term, which would run until October 1st of next year, or if he might be leaving early. We're trying to run that trap down, but we do know that the president tomorrow will announce General Mark Milley, the current Army Chief of Staff, to succeed the current chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joe Dunford. Now on to the news that by now is really old because it happened all of about 4 hours ago. The president doesn't know a whole lot about William Barr, who he has nominated to be his next attorney general. And there are some people who advised the president from outside the White House who are cautioning him against it. But just a few minutes ago in Kansas City, speaking to law enforcement officers, the president had high praise for his nominee. Listen here.
Bill previously led the Justice Department with distinction as Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, following his unanimous confirmation by the United States Senate. During his tenure, he demonstrated an unwavering adherence to the rule of law. No one more capable or more qualified for this role. He deserves overwhelming bipartisan support.
While Barr served as Bush 41's Attorney General, which puts him firmly in the establishment column, he does share some common ground with the president. He believes there was more cause to investigate Hillary Clinton's role in the Uranium One deal than there was cause to investigate the Trump campaign's possible collusion with Russia. And he fully backed the president's decision to fire James Comey in a Washington Post op-ed in May of 2017, saying, quote, "I know of no former senior Justice Department official, Democrat or Republican, who does not view Comey's conduct in July to have been a grave usurpation of authority." Barr also got a big vote of support today from the interim Attorney General, Matt Whitaker. Listen here.
The President's selection of Bill Barr as the next Attorney General is a continuation of this law and order presidency. Bill is supremely qualified, highly respected at the Department of Justice, and will continue to support the men and women in blue.
Even though Barr attracted broad bipartisan support for his first confirmation back in 1991, Democrats are already signaling that it is going to be a tough time for him. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, or the assumed to be the Speaker of the House next year, saying, quote, "Barr has spent the past 2 years auditioning for this job by stoking partisan attacks on our nation's law enforcement community. This nomination is the latest in the president's pattern of installing partisan hacks in the highest reaches of our government who will happily do his bidding." Senator Schumer saying that Barr's got a steep hill to climb, that he must make a commitment to continuing the Mueller investigation if he hopes to make it through Senate confirmation. Meantime, the knives are already out for the president's nominee to replace Nikki Haley at the United Nations. The former State Department spokeswoman and former Fox News correspondent Heather Nauert, the Center for American Progress, saying, quote, "This nomination reinforces the Trump administration's complete lack of interest in diplomacy. To nominate someone with zero diplomatic negotiating experience is yet another reminder that the Trump administration, which has placed generals in charge of foreign policy and methodically gutted the State Department, does not prioritize diplomacy. Trump is not putting America first. He's ensuring America is alone in the world." Contrast that, though, with what South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said. "I've known Heather for many years. She is a fine and capable person. She was an effective spokeswoman for the Department of State and enjoys the confidence of Secretary Pompeo and President Trump. I'm sure she will perform well at her hearing and look forward to supporting her nomination." Anyone that the president sends up to Capitol Hill for confirmation will face a rough ride, but these two may be particularly rough because Democrats really want to make a point, particularly if these confirmations don't start until the new year, when the House is firmly in Democratic hands, even though they don't have anything to do with Senate confirmation, but just kind of an overall sense of asserting their authority. Julie.
I was going to say, man, all right, you got to go sit down after that one. All right, John Roberts, thank you very much. Great reporting as always. So for more on all of this, Chris Starwalt is Fox News politics editor and the editor of Halftime Report. All right, Chris, you got all of that?
I think so. I was keeping notes.
All right. So now 3 changes in the administration. John Roberts just making news here on Fox that we've learned of. Most recently, the new Joint Chiefs of Staff will be General Mark Milley. That is new news. We knew there were rumors of it. He had hinted at it at the football game earlier today. But I first want to get to the president's pick for Attorney General. Speaking about William Barr, President Trump says, quote, "He was my first choice from day one," calling him a highly respected lawyer and one of the most respected jurists in the country. What do you make of the president's nomination?
Well, he's not a jurist, so that would be a problem. But look, Barr should be a very safe and very easily confirmable choice. He was widely respected for his time in the Justice Department, leading the Justice Department, and then, of course, he went on to become a mega corporate titan. He helped put together the deal that made Verizon. He became a very, very effective mergers and acquisitions kind of lawyer, dealing with antitrust stuff in the telecommunications world. He has a lot of rich friends. He has a lot of admirers. And he has a lot of credibility from his time dealing with issues like the LA riots and other things that were part of the Bush term. So he should be in good shape.
Yeah, he previously obviously served as Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, and ironically, we bid our goodbyes to him this week. His background could help the Trump administration bigly, as some would say, as it moves into the next. That is your word, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. See, I remember those things because I love your names. But as it moves into the next 2 highly political years, I mean, the next 2 years are going to be highly political, especially come January when the Democrats are going to be taking control of the House. So how is he going to affect the Trump administration moving forward and potentially the Trump campaign as the president goes to seek for a second term?
Well, we don't know about timing here, and this is a significant consideration. So as long as Trump has Whitaker over there treading water as the acting attorney